Hey guys, Bird Yu-Gi-Oh here, coming at you with another in-depth deck profile. This time we are featuring Counter Fairies. It's a really good deck, got some good stuff taken off of the ban list. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you subscribe. I got some awesome content coming up as usual. Starting off with 3 Bountiful Artemis. Basically just states each time a counter trap is activated, immediately after it resolves, you just draw a card. Very good to replenish your hand and hopefully get some more traps to then set on the next turn. So, Guiding Ariadne, really good card for the deck. Most of the time you're going to want to be setting it in scale because its effects are you don't pay life points to activate counter traps, and you don't discard. But also, if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can reveal 3 counter traps from your deck, and your opponent chooses one for you to add to your hand, and you shuffle the rest back. So it's got 2 amazing effects that are just perfect for this deck. And then some of my one-ofs that I play for monsters, just one Minerva. She's really good. Just each time a counter trap is activated, immediately after it resolves, this card gains 500 attack, and if Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field, you can add 1 counter trap with a different name from your graveyard to your hand. She's just not one that you have to see. I feel like you would rather see one of these in your opening hand over Minerva, but she's really good, boosting up some attack and killing your opponent eventually. Meltiel, pretty good. Each time a counter trap is activated, immediately after it resolves, you gain 1,000 life points. And then if Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field, you destroy 1 card your opponent controls. So it could potentially be, gain 1,000 and destroy a card your opponent controls. So pretty good. And then the last of the counter fairies that you're going to be like normal summoning, I guess, is Power Angel Valkyria. If you negate the activation of a spell, trap card, or a monster effect, you just add 1 light fairy from your deck to your hand. So she's definitely one you really only want to play at 1 because that effect doesn't come up as much, as like recurring a trap or whatever, but still comes in handy. Sometimes you'll be adding Honest off of her effect. They're all light monsters, so Honest will just help boost their attack in the damage step. And I played 2 Sacred Arch Air Knight Parshath. Really good if it's in your hand or in the graveyard, because if you activate a counter trap, or if you negate the activation of a spell, trap, or monster effect, you can banish 2 other fairies from your hand, field, or graveyard, and you special summon this card from your hand or graveyard. And then if it attacks a defense position, you inflict piercing battle damage. And when this card inflicts battle damage, you can add 1 Parshath card or 1 counter trap from your deck to your hand. So really good. It's your big body. It's kind of your boss monster. And then the last monster we play, which you don't have to, but I just kind of like to because a lot of these cards and some of the trap cards have effects that require Sanctuary in the Sky. And basically all you do with this card is you just discard it, and you can add Sanctuary in the Sky from your deck to your hand. And he's 2100 attack, but if Sanctuary in the Sky is not on the field, you have to destroy him. So if you have Sanctuary in the Sky, you can normal summon him and have a 2100 beater. So not bad. That's it for the monsters. Low monster count. It's definitely more of a trap deck, as you'll see. But we do have some very important spell cards as well. The Sanctum of Parshath. It's treated as the Sanctuary in the Sky while it's on the field or in the graveyard. And fairy-type monsters gain 300 attack, and then set spells and traps. This is the main effect. Cannot be targeted by or destroyed by card effects. And then once per turn, you can target a total of 3 fairy monsters and or counter traps with different names in your graveyard, and place them on the top of the deck in any order. So it's almost the perfect spell card for this deck. And then I play just 1 Sanctuary in the Sky. It's your search off of Zeradius, but Basically, just battle damage to the controller of a fairy monster. From that battle, the monster becomes 0. So you're not taking any battle damage if you have this card, but it's mostly just so you have Sanctuary in the Sky on the field for all of your other effects to go off. And then some draw power, 3 Pot of Duality. You're not really special summoning very much. So, ideally you want to normal summon one, activate Pot of Duality, search another trap, and then just set as many traps as you can. And then another cool little draw card, Cards from the Sky. You just banish 1 light fairy monster in your hand, and if you do draw 2 cards, you cannot special summon or conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this. Doesn't matter too much. But it does, fix hands where maybe you have too many monsters in hand and you happen to have this. You'll hopefully just replace those with traps if you can, or, some other spells that'll help you. And then the last spell is Monster Reborn, because, you will get some monsters in grave, and just to summon them back is kind of nice. So to have something on board. And then on to the traps, which is the bulk of the deck. Play 2 Rebirth of Parshath. I've played it at 3 before. It's kind of up to you what you want to do there, but basically just when a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated, you reveal 1 counter trap in your hand, discard a card, and pay 1,000 life points, and you negate the activation and shuffle that card into the deck. So that's really good because it doesn't send it to the graveyard. And then you can special summon 1 Parshath monster from your deck or extra deck. We don't play the extra deck one. You definitely can. But so basically that special summon, you're just going to be special summoning out your Sacred Arch Air Knight, which is not bad in itself. But, say you have Guiding Ariadne, basically all you're doing is having to reveal a counter trap, because you're not going to be discarding or paying life points. So, almost free for that card. And then play 3 Divine Punishment. This one is just when a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated. While the Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field, you negate it and destroy. So that's why, we want a few more copies of Sanctuary in the Sky. Just to make, this card is amazing. It's got no drawbacks other than you have to have Sanctuary in the Sky on the field. So, if you have that, you're negating anything your opponent does, which is really good. 3 Ultimate Providence. This is, again, another one that is better with Guiding Ariadne, but basically when a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated, you discard the same type of card, so a monster, spell, or trap, and then you negate the activation and destroy it. So you won't have to discard, obviously, if you have Guiding Ariadne. So then that card, again, becomes just a free negate of anything. And then we don't play any of the Solemns because they're terrible. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, we play 3 Solemn Judgment. He's absolutely amazing. Just when a monster would be summoned or a spell or trap card is activated, you just pay half your life points, negate the summoner activation, and destroy it. So again, Guiding Ariadne becomes a free negate anything. Play 3 Solemn Strike. When a monster would be special summoned or a monster effect is activated, you just pay 1,500 and negate the summoner activation. And then 3 Solemn Warning, the newest one that came off of the ban list. Just when a monster would be summoned or when a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated, that includes an effect that special summons a monster, you just pay 2,000, negate the summon, and destroy it. So these are perfect for this deck. I'm so happy that we have all 9 of them back in action, because they're all absolutely amazing. So that is it for the main deck. I believe in my past deck, I've played Ties of the Brethren. You can definitely play that if you want. I just found I wanted, especially with Solemn Warning coming off, I didn't really want to focus too much on the monster cards as much as just trying to just lock down the board. But you can definitely play Ties of the Brethren and cards like Barrier Statue. Those are really nice to just lock your opponent down, with your monster cards. But yeah, kind of up to you. how you want to play the deck. The extra deck is wide open, so you can definitely, if you have Pot of Extravagance, this is an amazing deck to play it in. It's just because you really aren't going to be going into your extra deck very much. So I kind of just have utility cards, especially rank 4s. Bujinte Tsukiyomi just requires 2 level 4 lights, which is all your monsters basically. You just detach 1 material and send your entire hand to the graveyard and draw 2, so it can potentially fix your hands. Utopia the Lightning, you're playing Honest, so he could be a pretty easy OTK, or just a lot of damage on your opponent. Abyss Dweller, just generic. Baguska, Exiton, Tornado, Dugaris, 101, just kind of generic stuff. Play whatever you want. And then for the links, just the ones that you can link up to potentially, because you don't have a lot of ways of special summoning, or you're probably not going to have very many monsters on board, but if you do, you want to have the ability to link up into some stuff. So Phoenix gets rid of spells, traps. Cerberus, you're just going to target a special summon monster your opponent controls. Unicorn, just target 1 card in the field, return it to the deck, so really good removal of problem ones. Griffin, if you can make it, you could, basically you're going to be discarding a card and resetting a trap, more than likely, so kind of nice there. Topologic, Trisbania, and Bomber Dragon, just there if you can make them, but you're not really going to be going into the extra deck too much. You're going to be, like I said, your dream would be to normal summon Artemis, set an Ariadne in scale, and then set I don't know, 3 traps would be nice, something like that. Because your opponent's not doing much, you're going to be drawing each one of these that you activate. You're not paying any life points, you're not discarding anything, so this would be a dream opening, if you happen to open this, but that's kind of more or less what you're wanting to do. You're not really wanting to go to the extra deck too much, but yeah, so that's the deck for you guys. Like I said, make sure to subscribe. Got some awesome content coming up, and we will catch you guys in the next one.